Hello everyone, I am very glad to see you all. Welcome to the second part of today's video. Thank you to everyone who supports me. I am very glad Jimmy is with you, and we are starting the first story in the second part from user perspective. Let's listen. I caught my husband of 10 years cheating on me with multiple women. He bragged about how he was able to get laid. I know one woman who is 19 years old. It seems like it was just an ego boost for him. I always knew he had issues with his ego. He was a very insecure man. Whenever someone does something better than him, he would get jealous. Looking back, I regret choosing him, because I thought that he was a sweet person, so it didn't matter if he is a bit egotistical. When I found out that he was cheating, I left him and took my kids with me. I also exposed his affairs. He has since been begging me to take him back. I know for sure he is begging because his mom kicked his ass. No one is taking his side. His last straw is to make me reconcile with him so that he is somewhat acceptable. I refused. Because all the things he said about me, about my body, he can never come back from it. I nearly died after giving birth to my son, and all he said was that my body is ruined. So my friend gave me an idea to hook up with someone else as a revenge. I was hesitant. I am not someone who can do random hookups. So I staged a lie. With the help of my friends, I staged having a revenge affair. The last time he came to convince me, he said he cut off all contact with his AP and got himself into therapy. I wasn't satisfied. I wanted to crush his ego and crush his confidence. I told him that I slept with someone else. At first he didn't believe me, told me I was lying. I pulled out my phone where there was text exchange between me and a random guy, which was just me and my friends chatting. We exchanged pics, fake pics, and there were spicy messages. He started to believe me. He pestered to know more about this guy. I made up a story how he is someone I met at the gym. I can see him losing his dump. He started cursing me. How can you do this to me? He started asking me questions. Did you use protection? How many times did you do it? Did he make me come? The last thing that actually broke him was when he asked my friend about it. She is the friend with whom I'm staying currently. She lied to him and said that we were making noises all night. And I send my kids to my mom's for that. I can see my cheating husband having a meltdown. He really thought he was all that. I might end up hooking up with a random person because I am done with him and I'm done with our marriage. Author update this story. Today seems like a good day to give you guys an update. No, I'm still not divorced. We recently just finished the discussion about the custody. There was a lot of back and forth. He wanted majority of the custody, knowing well he knows nothing about childcare. Finally, we decided that I will get majority of the custody and he will get visitation. Probably the reason why he chose this is because he wanted to keep up with his bachelor life without the responsibility of the family. My daughter has stopped asking questions. I think deep down she knows her dad messed up. I have signed my daughter and son up for therapy. As for me, I'm not dating. I'm also not interested in a one-night stand. I opened Tinder and yeah, I got a lot of messages. It was a shock to me as well, lol. Not bragging, but it made me sad because all these men just want a fling. I'm a romantic person. I want someone who can spoil me. I want someone who will hold me tight and say nice things. I want to rely on someone for empty emotional needs, and he will be there for me, just like I will be there for them. I regret wasting so many years of my life over a man who won't do that. But I guess I am one, the unlucky first wives lol. My ex is still trying to convince me to reconsider. He made so many excuses that I can write a book about it and then give classes about gaslighting 101. I did something petty again. I listed number of things he could have done instead of cheating and forwarded the list to him. He was mad at me, but it worked because he stopped giving me excuses. I will be fine, just a little down. I am trying to stay positive for my kids. Just like Gloria Gaynor's song, I will survive. I will update in another good day when life will get better. What I think about this story. Cheaters are always like this. They have every excuse in their head for why their cheating is okay. Oh, she came into me. You didn't give me love. I felt neglected. She didn't do XYZ'd. The new girlfriend is prettier. Oh, it was just about my ego. It was just something I needed in the moment. On and on. I say she, but this happens with male or female cheaters. They always excuse their own behavior. It's why you see them asking things like, "You're going to leave the marriage over this one mistake?" Or, "How dare you break up our marriage?" Or, "Aren't you even going to fight for us?" As if the other party is the one at fault, and not the one that couldn't keep it in their pants. Let's check the user comment. This is unfortunately accepted by too many women too. One of my college friends broke up with her boyfriend because he cheated on her. Her mom told her that she was an unwise if she really thought any college boyfriend would be faithful and she should get back together with him. Then years later, when Arnold Schwarzenegger's love child made the news, a co-worker told me that in her home country, it was well known and accepted that men will cheat. They can't help themselves, and it's only a problem if they publicly shame their wife by getting the other woman pregnant or make the affair widely known in some other manner. Both are so ridiculous, and I feel sad that anyone would value themselves or any other person so little that they not only find this type of behavior acceptable, but teach their children to accept it too. The next story from the user, Gema, let's listen. I am in a gaming group that has about 10 members, 18-25 female or male, including my boyfriend and I. A month ago, I had a fallout with a member in the group, who I'll call Roger, 25 male. Basically, I don't like Roger. All he ever does is degrade and talk about our women who are backstabbing, who you can never trust, and how much he loves to smoke weed and do drugs. Hearing those things constantly became a drag. So I decided that I did not want to around him anymore. Ever since I cut off contact, I've been excluded from games whenever Roger plays because he does not want me there. Even my boyfriend told me not to join because it'll piss off Roger. Obviously, I don't want to play with Roger either, so this is fine with me. The thing is, when Roger is playing, I'm excluded from the group as I can't play with anyone else because they're all playing with Roger. This happens 3 or 4 days every week, and they play for 5-6 hours a day. I'm really shy, so I don't talk much in the group games besides doing the usual callouts. I know everyone would much rather play with Roger than me since he's more outgoing and fun to them, so I don't interfere. Even so, I still feel like for being left out constantly. My boyfriend didn't even defend me the first time I was excluded. He just told me to not join ever again and left it at that. Only one other person in the group has defending me, and that is my best friend 19M since middle school. When I first told him about the situation, he got really angry and asked me if I wanted him to stop playing with Roger too. I know my boyfriend and best friend love playing with Roger though, so I didn't ask them to stop. Last night, Roger and the group were all playing again. I decided to look for some other groups online to play with because being alone sucks. While on a break from his game, my boyfriend asked what I was doing. I told him casually that I was looking for a new gaming group to play with. His reaction was not what I was expecting. He got upset and kept questioning me why I wanted to leave our old gaming group. I told him since I'm being excluded from our old group so often, I may as well find a new group to play with because I obviously don't fit in anymore. Even after my answers, he would keep asking me why I couldn't just stay and participate in the group often. How am I supposed to participate in a group when I'm being excluded from it weekly? At that point, I told my boyfriend to stop talking to me about this subject and to leave it. He then said to me that I was overreacting to being excluded from the group and then went on a rant about why I couldn't just be happy for once since he still plays with me daily. My boyfriend and I do play daily, but we play alone with just us two, since no one else in the group can play at the times we're online. Being excluded from playing with everyone else is what makes me feel like dump, not being excluded from playing with my boyfriend. I told him that if I find a new group, I would always play with him first, no matter what. However, I just want to find a new group to play with when he and everyone else are playing with Roger, since I can't join in the first place. And playing alone sucks. He said fine in an annoyed tone, and we left it at that. We haven't spoken about it since, but I can tell he's upset over it. Am I really overreacting to the situation? Do I just ignore my boyfriend for now? Do I say something? This is the first time I've ever seen him so upset over something I did. I'm not sure what to do. Author update this story. Thank you everyone for all the advice. And thank you to those that also offered to play with me. I wasn't expecting my post to get so many replies. Unfortunately, I had some unrelated family business, so I couldn't respond to you all. However, I have read everything and have taken all your words into consideration. Some people have also asked me questions about how we can play so often, how long I've been with my boyfriend, so I'll just give a brief background skip to the next line if you don't want to read it. First off, most of us are college students 18-20, either working part-time or staying at home with our parents. As of right now, most of us are on summer break. We only have 2 older members in the group, which are Roger 25M and another guy 23M. The rest of us are or fall under 20. Roger is actually married and his wife makes good bank, so he has a ton of free time. Second, about my boyfriend. Surprisingly, we met through the gaming group, as he was the one who advertised it, which was how I found and joined the group. That was about 2 years ago, and about a couple of months after we met, we just clicked and started dating. My boyfriend has known Roger for about 3 years, so they're close friends. However, Roger did not join the group until 6 months ago, as my boyfriend invited him because he thought it'd be fun to have him there too. I did not know much of Roger, other than that he was my boyfriend's friend until he joined the group. So after I posted my original post, I signed up for 2 different groups. The first one was an all-women's group, 1620F. They responded to me pretty quickly. They were very nice and polite, but explained that they only play once or twice a week. Unfortunately, that didn't cut it for me. The second group responded to me the next day, and I learned that they were more active, but that they're also an all-men's group, 17-9M. However, they were open to having me there. At first, I felt pretty sketched, but the oldest and most popular guy, 19M there, took me aside and explained to me that he does not tolerate any type of harassment, and that he will definitely kick out any of the other guys if they were bothering me. Hearing that made me feel more comfortable, and I played some games with them. I had so much fun. All the guys were really nice and friendly. No vulgar remarks, no more screaming of profanity against women. It was nice being in a group of people who were happy to play with me. After I finished my games and left, my boyfriend called and asked if we could talk. When he came over, before I could even ask or speak myself, he told me he was really sorry and that he screwed up big time, and he understands how wrong he was. He said he didn't want me to go to a new group because he feared that I would leave him too for some new guy. Then he told me that he didn't realize how hurt I was from being excluded from the group because I had never complained or voiced against it, which was true. I never complained about the exclusions or even Roger's behavior before because I knew it would just cause more conflict. I also didn't want my boyfriend to stop playing with his friends because of me. I explained this to him, and he said he was sorry for not defending and comforting me like he should have been in the first place. To my surprise, he then showed me his text messages between him and Roger that happened a few months ago. Apparently, way before my exclusion, Roger had a few conversations with my boyfriend, telling him how much of a pain it was to play with me there. He wanted my boyfriend to kick me out. However, my boyfriend refused and told Roger that was not happening. Then, around the time when I decided to stop hanging out around Roger, that's when Roger sent a group text to everyone in the group explaining how he doesn't want me to play with the group again, and he hopes everyone understands. Everyone, and to my shock, even my best friend, all agreed with him. Only my boyfriend protested, but Roger was really stubborn, and he had the whole group to support him, so my boyfriend gave up. After showing me those texts, he told me next that he kicked Roger from their group earlier today. Roger was not allowed to play with them anymore, but my boyfriend said he'd still be willing my play with Roger one-on-one, but only like once a month. Surprisingly, Roger agreed, and that was that. My boyfriend said he understood if I didn't want to be with him anymore, but said that he truly does love me. Honestly, even after all that has happened, I'm not mad at my boyfriend. This is both of ours first relationship, and we're still learning. He's always been kind to me, and I've never had a problem with him before this situation occurred. I feel happy that he realized his mistakes and did apologize without me asking. This is the first time he's ever come across a situation where he has no choice but to choose a side. So I don't blame him for trying to do anything to keep the group together. He told me he would also like me to come back to our old group, but he said it's completely fine if I stay with my new group. He knows it was wrong of him to ask me not to join a new group. I told him I don't think I'll ever come back to the old group and that I will definitely be sticking with my new group from now on. However, I will always make time for him and put him first. He accepted it without any protest, and we went back to our usual fun activities. I feel bad that my boyfriend may have lost a close friend, since I never asked him to do any of that for me. Regardless, I am happy, and lately my boyfriend and I have been spending more time together now that R isn't around as much. I have also continued playing with my new group, and it's been awesome. If you've made it this far, thanks for reading this long update. Sorry for the ramble and mistakes, my mind is all over the place right now, and I wanted to explain as much as I could. Thank you guys once again. What I think about this story. I hope OP realizes that her so-called BFF asking her if he should leave the group is the unwise possible thing for him to do. That's making her responsible for something that he should be deciding to do. If she says yes, leave, then it's her fault. And if she says no, don't leave, then she said he didn't have to. What's her problem? A real friend would take responsibility for his actions and decide for himself to leave or not. Let's see user comment. I really hope that's not the case though. Girl, he literally told you it was. She's got to learn to believe people when they show you who they are. Thank you all for being with me today. I am very grateful for your support, but that's all for today. Do not forget to write comments under the video. I read them all. I love you all. Good to everyone.